got to celebrate it. You gotta make sure that you treasure it. School and life, forget the nonsense. It's irrelevant. Be what you put your mind to. You could be the president. Greatness you achieve for your people, you gotta represent.
It goes up, up, and away, yeah. Today's the best day ever, you're off and on your way. Up, up, and away, yeah. We parlay in the morning, we party throughout the day. Up, up, and away, yeah. Up, up, underlay, yeah. Up, up, and away, yeah. School ain't like the only way.
Welcome to our first official episode of School and Life. I'm your host, Casey Williams, and today we're going to be talking about virtual schooling during the pandemic.
My name is Relda.
My name is Farrell.
My name is Jaylon.
My name is Janaya.
So, how have you guys been taking care of yourself during the pandemic?
Well, me, I have a lot of me time now due to having to do online school, and it's really helping. I'm starting to feel like find myself more. Know what I like to do more. So it's been very helpful to me.
Me personally, I've been taking care of myself during the pandemic by painting more, tapping back into my creativity, because before the pandemic, I was so busy and I realized I didn't have enough time for myself. So now I'm actually taking that time to invest more into me and figure out who I am, what I love, and just becoming a better me in general.
I have just been relaxing, basically, just going with the flow and just chilling, basically.
Okay, for me, I've been working out, trying to gain better knowledge of myself and moving forward.
All right, so what have been the pros and cons of this virtual learning experience?
The pro is being at home and not having to encounter any unnecessary drama just trying to get to class. But I will say a con
We're on pros.
Oh, okay. So continue to the pros. Just staying home, being able to relax and being in your own element, because sometimes the being in your own element helps your mind of space. So it helps you think better, helps you relax better, helps you do your work faster and stuff like that. So I feel like the environment is good.
Definitely.
Right.
For me, virtual learning, one of the pros that I found is flexibility within my schedule. So I have a lot of things that I do outside, like I have a job, I'm also a part of different organizations, and I have a lot going on during my weekday. So being able to be virtual, I know, hey, I have deadlines, so I can set up a schedule based on my convenience, and I'm also able to let my teachers know, hey, this is what I'm dealing with, and I would like to work out something so that I can get this done on time, or so that I don't be penalized for the things that I do have, because I have responsibilities outside of school as well. So I definitely like the schedule flexibility.
For me, I'm actually glad that they cut it in half. They cut the school time in half. So instead of class being about like 90 minutes, it's now 45. So I feel like 45 minutes is, it's a good enough to get your topic point, get through the sponge, the lesson, and then assign the homework. So I feel like that's beneficial to me.
All right, what have been some of the cons?
I feel like the cons, he was saying that he liked the 45 minutes, but I just feel like it's not enough time to actually learn something, because you're telling me how to do something, okay. Then you give us like 5 assignments on different aspects of what you only taught one part of. So it's like you also have to figure out how to teach yourself, but some people need more of that hands-on learning. So I do feel like most of the students I know, I'm going to say for myself and others, are just turning in at 11:59 to get that grade so that their GPA doesn't mess up. So I feel like that is a problem.
Kind of piggyback off of what Relda said, like I need to be in school, like the physical environment for me to, obtain the knowledge. Like if we're in school, we'll go over 3 examples, then they'll be like, you're doing it on your own, but then they'll still go over what you did on your own. But more for like virtual school, it's just kind of what she said, you're just trying to turn it in by the deadline. You're not really getting taught
any knowledge.
I feel like one of the cons of virtual learning is I lack the motivation now. So whereas I'm in school, you have your teachers, they're in your face, so you have to do the assignments. Like they're pushing you, they're like, hey, you need to get this done. They're constantly like reminding you what to do. But when you have your own schedule and you're virtual, 9 times out of 10, when you don't have that person pushing you, motivating you to do your work, you're not really going to want to do it, because now you're like, oh, I can finally relax, I can go to sleep, I can do what I need to do. And I feel like motivation-wise, I lose my motivation to do work because I don't have anybody physically there pushing me to do better. They can tell me, but that don't mean I'm gonna do it because I'm at home. You can't do nothing about that.
Right. So the accountability part is very, very much,
Yeah.
it's very different. I've been finding it challenging for some of my students to turn in assignments. I think it's a lot for me to be asking of students, just because again, there is no true accountability other than, so it's been a tough situation. But I have been enjoying the same liberties that you guys have, flexibility, being able to teach from wherever I want to teach from. That has truly been a plus. But what new skills and hobbies have you started? What new skills or hobbies have you started or taken away? What are some things that you started to not do that you used to do?
Okay, I started playing my piano this year. Before I got my piano around my birthday, and I didn't play it as much as I wanted to, but I ended up actually joining a piano class. So I was taking my piano class, and I was feeling myself because I'm like, oh, I'm starting to learn this, you know, and now I just be in my room and I be playing different things, and it makes me really happy. So definitely piano, and I've gotten more into painting and art. Like, if you were to go and look at my room right now, I have art everywhere. I painted my bed, I painted my doors, I painted my dressers, my bookshelves, my walls. Like, it's me. It's a representation of me, my whole room in general. So definitely.
Anything?
Oh,
Me
well,
personally, I learned how to run faster in the 400 meters. Before I was able to do a 58. Now I can do a 50 flat in the 400.
For me, you know, I used to play the game a lot. I used to play on my PlayStation all night, basically. But now, you know, I feel like it's getting repetitive, you know, just the same thing, waking up, getting on the game. It just got boring. So I started, you know, discovering new music, you know, like different genres, not just hip hop, but, you know, actually started listening to classical and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right, I think I've been focusing on like inspirational things or things that really allow for me to be creative and demonstrate more of myself. And so outside of having the framework of work, that has allowed for me to really begin to, you know, just go back to the truth of who I am and focus on those creative spaces and creative outlets.
All right.
So your home life has pretty much become the center of everything. What adjustments have you and your families made for this virtual learning experience?
Well, so this summer my mom has decided to renovate our deck, so it's like a kind of bigger now, and we have a screened-in spot. So it's like I can change change the environment, so I'm able to go outside if I want to enjoy nature while I'm in class, or I can go in the office, so I can get different aspects of kind of like school. I'm just changing every period, stuff like that. So I do like how I can switch up the environment without having to be in school physically.
During this, you know, pandemic, me and my family, we have got closer, knowing that we're in the house almost 24/7. So we've gotten to know a little bit about each other. Like me and my brother, he hasn't really been around. Like, you know, he lives in a different state. So when he came down, he was down here for about 4 months, and we got closer. Like all my 16 years, 17 years, like we haven't not been that close before, and that's what I'm actually grateful for.
So if you could envision a new educational future with virtual as well as traditional school, what are you all's thoughts about those things? Like, have you thought about, because ultimately education is going to shift from the virtual experience. Yeah. What would be ideal for you, or have you even envisioned anything for this new?
I honestly haven't envisioned anything, only because I know COVID is not going to just go away. So it's just something that we're going to have to live with. So it's just like what we're doing now is only temporary, because they do have to find a way to do better, and they are trying to improve it. But I haven't really thought of any new things other than as some people are doing, going back like once a week and limiting people and stuff like that. So other than that, I haven't really envisioned it too much.
I can also attest to what she said. My school, they started going back in phases. I personally have stayed virtual this semester because it's more convenient for me, and I know I don't have to worry about anything else because I have siblings and they are also virtual. So I stay home to help them with their work and, you know, watch and make sure that they have everything that they need. But truth be told, I really feel like we're going to stay virtual for the time being because, you know, the COVID rates are actually going up rather than actually decreasing. So I feel like we'll stay virtual, but I feel like us being virtual definitely teaches us that we need to teach ourselves. Because at the end of the day, like I started taking college classes and I realized that my teachers don't teach me anything. And it's kind of the same way it is virtually learning. So now it's like, okay, well, I have to learn how to teach myself. So it, once again, you know, even though sometimes it take away from the accountability, it puts it back into place. So definitely.
So, what has been the greatest thing that you have learned from this whole experience, from the pandemic or whatever? What are the life lessons that you're taking from this experience?
The life lesson I have got is that I am a lot of people's friend, but most of them are not really my friend. And I'm learning how to be content in being alone if needed. Like, I'm not lonely, but like if I need to, like, I'm okay with being alone. I don't have to go somewhere all the time. I don't have to text or call somebody all the time. I'm okay with being by myself, chilling in my room, and just learning to be by myself and loving myself, basically.
One thing that I realized is that things can switch very quickly, you know, and you have to adapt and change and overcome. That's what I realized.
What I learned is self-discipline and accountability. You know, you're in online school, so yeah, like she said, it's not people just in your face talking about, hey, turn in to work. You gotta know that that's what you're supposed to do. You know, you're not supposed to be rewarded for things you're supposed to do. So it taught me self-discipline and accountability of my actions.
Me personally, I feel like the biggest thing I learned was to advocate for myself. I feel like a lot of times I let a lot of things slide, and I put up with a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have put up with because I know I'm deserving of more. So learning how to speak up for myself and be like, hey, Janai, this isn't what you deserve, and you need to fight for your happiness because, you know, nobody else can fight for it for you. You got to want it yourself. Like, somebody can want it that's bad for you, but they're not you, so they can't feel what you're supposed to be feeling, what they expect you to feel, you know? So definitely that.
All right, so thank you guys for coming in here doing another episode of School and Life with me. And we always got to remember that you are in control of your life.
Right.
And so you're in control of the things that are happening to you. So always remember to school your life.
That part.
Period.
Up and away, yeah. We parlay in the morning, we party throughout the day. Up and away, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Up, underlay, yeah. Up and away, yeah.
Yes, sir.
School is like the only way.
School is important in life, you gotta be educated. Go through life with no regrets, cause you regret if you hesitate. And strive to be the best, the obstacles gon' leave you aggravated. But once you succeed, you gon' figure you have to celebrate it. You gotta make sure that you treasure it. School and life, forget the nonsense, it's irrelevant. Be what you put your mind to, you could be the president. Greatness you achieve for your people, you gotta
It
represent.
goes up and away, yeah. Today's the best day ever, you're off and on your way. Up and away, yeah. We parlay in the morning, we party throughout the day. Up and away, yeah. Up, underlay, yeah. Up and away, yeah. School ain't like the only way.
Each day when you wake up, either you're taking intentional steps to being your best self, or you're moving further away from your truth and your goals. There is a difference between being self-focused and self-centered. Value yourself. Love yourself. Hype yourself up because you're dope. It is perfectly okay to be your biggest fan with purpose. Yo, you got this.